Do you come here and this is your regular hangout? It is mine. I come from Ubud, and it's like the perfect place to come and just hang out for the day. Really. It's amazing because within 45 minutes, I can literally be on from a bike to with my feet in the sand and hang out all day on fabulous beanbag chairs and eat healthy food and then go back to Ubud. So it's a pretty good escape. Do you guys live here or, yeah? Do you live in Sanur? Yeah. So you're probably the same. You don't get out much. You probably don't get to Ubud as often, but for me, it's like Ubud is kind of a bit of a vortex, so it's easy to get stuck in there. So do you guys live here too? Yeah, in Sanur. Nice. So my name is Petra, and I got asked to do this talk. I speak around the world. I live in Ubud now, but I'm originally from the Czech Republic. And my family escaped when I was really young, and we escaped to Canada. And about 15 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she died within 3 months. And it was a really accelerated way of learning everything that we can to do with the body and how we can heal the body and how we can get sickness out of the body and how we can also prevent sickness from ever coming to get us. So that became my massive mission, to figure out how cancer works, how we can release cancer from the body, and how we can never get cancer again. And I was on a bit of a hunt. And I also was feeling like cancer one day was chasing me because, as you know, what you focus your energy on and what you kind of will persist. And sure enough, I had a cancer scare in my breast. And I never got it diagnosed as cancer, but I just went on a major healing spree and a lot of cleansing that I had known, that I'd been teaching everyone. And when I finally went and got officially tested, everything was cancer-free. So I just felt that it was one of those things that I had to manifest myself to just go through the full trajectory of knowing how to heal cancer naturally. And so the talk today is called How to Become a Green Smoothie Gangster. Because in all my 15 years of everything that I teach in holistic health, in mindfulness, in radical self-love, in the way that we can eat to lose weight, look younger, I feel that showing you some of these things and if you know how to make, how many of you guys make green smoothies now in your homes? Okay, one person, 2 people, okay. So this honestly is one of the fastest ways that you can lose weight, start to look younger, get good bacteria back into your body, heal your gut, and really get yourself on a health path, because sometimes we don't know what to do and it's really confusing. There's a lot of information out there and someone's telling you this is good for you, that's good for you, and you're a little bit confused. Well, this right here is the simplest and easiest thing that you can make for yourself for breakfast before you have your coffee. And you can start alkalining your body. So we're made up of water. We're 80% water. We're a saltwater fish tank. And our body is constantly in a state of acid or alkaline balance. And the body is so miraculous and so smart. It is healing us in every single moment. So it is always working on our healing. And it is always trying to get us into an alkaline state. And it just takes a little bit of effort sometimes to get us there a little bit faster, because if we're eating too much acidic food, having too many stressful acidic thoughts, then it can be difficult for the body to actually do the work to get you to alkaline. And no disease can live in an alkaline body. So it's important to know how to alkaline your body. And how many of you guys have ever focused on trying to alkaline your body or know anything about alkalining? A little bit, yeah? So this is something that's important because disease and cancer and diabetes, they all love to live in a very acidic environment, and they love to live in that toxic sludge. And so if we can kick our body into an alkaline state as fast as possible, we can prevent sickness from ever coming to get us. So I teach this kind of stuff all around the world. I have a couple books that I've written. I sell them in Ubud and on Amazon. One is called I Am Amazing. It's a self-love guide. It's written in the I am perspective so that you start to reprogram your brain of how miraculous and powerful you are. Because we've never been taught how incredible we really are and who we are as humans, and that we are these magnificent creators, these gods and goddesses walking around in skin bags, and that we actually get to create our reality by the thoughts that we think and the actions that we take and the beliefs that we have. So if we've been trained to believe that we're very small, that we're not really worth a lot, that we don't really matter, then the reality that we're going to create is going to be very different from a person who feels very, very empowered. So it's really my mission to help people kind of come from that underworld, wake them up, help them get to that other side, and to recognize how powerful our lives can be and how we can actually really create an amazing life and create amazing relationships with people and have a lot of radical self-love. So this book is called I Am Amazing, and I just translated it to Czech, so it's being sold in Czech and it's now being translated in France. And I also have another book because I teach detoxes. So I was teaching for the Yoga Barn, and I teach and I lead yoga retreats for detox and cleansing, so people can come with me and do 7 days of juicing or water or coconut water to learn how to basically clean their bodies and raise their vibration. And that's a big part of this. I don't know about you guys, one of the reasons why you've come to Bali or why you live here, or even if you're on an awakened path. But if there's a part of you that wants to always grow and be a bigger, better person, to always expand, looking for your vibration to get higher and higher and higher. But when we eat a lot of toxic food or we have a lot of chemicals inside of our bodies, our body vibration is quite low. And so starting to do a cleanse or eating more raw fruits and vegetables, doing green smoothies, really like cleaning your body, cleaning your thoughts, thinking about the thoughts that you're thinking, will start to help you get your vibration to be higher and higher and higher. So this book is written so that you can do a cleanse from the comfort of your home. And I have a third book that I sell in stores. It's called 5 Things I Love About You. And usually when I have bigger workshops, I get people to play the game. And it's a way to create better connection with people. Because most of the time we live with people or we're dating people, but we never really find out what they care about us, or we never really get a chance to tell them what we think is amazing about them. So it's an opportunity to play a game where you start to really connect with people on a deeper level than you've ever connected before. So couple things that I'm just going to talk to you about today and show you how to make is I'm going to show you guys how to make a green smoothie. It's really simple. A lot of the times people overcomplicate it, put too many things into it. And the whole power of this green smoothie is that it's all raw fruits and vegetables, so that it actually gives you instant energy. And it will instantly clean you out, because unlike a juice, this has lots of fiber in it. We either use spinach or kale or some dark leafy greens, and those help scrape you out. So even if you're going to the bathroom every single day, we really should be pooing every single day, which most of us are not. But even if you are pooing every day, maybe you have enough toxic sludge inside of you that you could be pooing a few times a day. And what's really shocking for most people is when they start doing just juicing or water or coconut water fasting, that they realize that they have so much excess fecal matter. I have no problem talking about poo, by the way. I know you guys are eating, but this is a body function. We all do it. We all should be doing it. We should be doing it very often because we want to let go of the crap. And most of us are hanging on to crap physically, mentally. We have it in our homes. We can't part with our clothes. We can't part with things in our house because we feel a lot of comfort hanging on to our stuff. So it's important for us to start letting go and releasing the mental and the physical crap. So one of the things that doing green smoothies every single morning will start to do for you is it will help scrape you out, and it will help you get rid of all the excess fecal matter. And I'm also going to teach you guys how to poo properly, because if you're not pooing in this specific way, you're missing an opportunity to cleanse your body out quite a bit. And it helps you definitely to release a lot more toxins out of your body, because the whole game of the game is to release toxins. And I'm also going to talk to you about how to alkaline your body in a very simple way, and a few things that you can start doing today to increase more self-love in your life too. Because that's one of the biggest things, and I talk about it in the very first chapter of my book, is that really at the stem of most of our struggle is that, and our suffering, is that we just don't believe we're quite worthy enough. And that maybe we're not worthy enough to receive and have the most amazing life, or to have lots of money, or to have the love of your life, or to have an amazing relationship with your parents or your partner, because somewhere in there you just think that it's just the way it is and it's just good enough the way it is. So increasing our level of self-love and actually turning it to radical self-love, where we're literally like our best friend, we love each other so much, will really change your life. And I just want to ask you guys, how many of you feel that you absolutely love and adore yourself like so much that you're your own best friend? Come on, put up your hands. Okay, so if you don't, here's your homework. So even for you guys over there, it's fine. You can love each other, but you got to love yourself first, because then you're always looking for external validation, right? We wake up first thing in the morning and we're looking to other people to feed us, to tell us we're great, to tell us we're handsome, beautiful, that we're amazing. But it's important for us to know that ourselves. And so how many of you have ever done anything like mirror work, where you stood in front of the mirror and you stared at yourself and you told yourself that you love yourself? This is your homework. It's so simple. I'm sure every single one of you have a mirror in your hotel or in your homestay or in the bathroom here. And something really profound that will make a massive difference in your life is to start connecting to yourself and to recognizing that there is an inner being inside of you that is always looking for love and for validation and looking to be seen and heard and to be understood. And instead of looking to other people to give you that validation, it's important that we start to give it to ourselves. And so your homework is to go and stand in front of the mirror, to look at yourself and to look in your own eyes and to start telling yourself that you're amazing and that you're beautiful and that you're handsome and that you love yourself and that you're proud of yourself and that you're going to take care of yourself for the rest of your life and that you're here for you and that you don't really need anyone else. You really need yourself. So that's your homework. Are you willing to take it on? I've never done a talk like this where literally the attention is like everywhere other than what's happening. So it's really like, whoa, I don't know if I should keep talking or bag it or what. You're here. Thank you for your presence. So that's your homework, you guys, is to start learning to love yourself. So even first thing in the morning, anytime throughout the day, can you create some level of connection? Because you're probably connecting to your friend, you're connecting to your partner, you're connecting to your kids, but how often are you connecting to yourself and reaching back to yourself and recognizing that there's another human being inside of you there? And if you can start to do that, it starts to become a whole new reality that you play, because you start to put yourself into totally different situations. You start to set more boundaries for yourself. You start to take care of yourself better, because you actually start to really, really love yourself so much that you would never put yourself into a bad situation. And I don't know about you guys, but I did a thing where 2 years ago I let go of suffering forever. And I think most of us suffer in our lives, but we think it's this automatic thing that you just have to do, and it's just what you do to the end of until you die. But suffering is just a choice, and you can let go of suffering, and you can recognize that anything that you're experiencing in your life, even waiting for your food or waiting for something or expecting someone to do something for you, is a choice whether you are suffering through it or you're enjoying it. And so my biggest lesson was that when I started to feel that wave of suffering coming over me, I literally would about to open the door and I'd start going down the tunnel. And that tunnel sometimes was long. We could be in there for weeks, months, years in suffering and victim consciousness. And I was able, and I'm able now to pull it to such a degree where literally I just feel the wave of suffering about to come. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going into that door. That is not going to happen. And that is an awakened level of consciousness that we can all be living, where you're so consciously creating your life and creating your thoughts and planning on how you're going to live your life. So I just really invite you guys to take on that level of consciousness in your life where you are the creator, you're 100% responsible for your reality, and you are creating your reality with every single thought and every single belief that you have about yourself. If this is a kind world or an unhappy world is totally up to you based on how you view it and what kind of glasses you have on. And so it's just about feeding that good stuff that you have inside of you, feeding that person that is amazing inside of there, instead of feeding that person that maybe you've been told is stupid or not good enough or worthless. and shifting that perspective. So if you really want a little bit of like mindful training, I really invite you after this talk, if you want to buy one of my books, because the I Am Amazing book really does change people's lives, and I feel really grateful for that. So let's talk about a few things. So first thing in the morning, when you get up, I'm going to invite you guys to start cleaning your mouth before you start drinking any water or you do anything. Because what happens is while you sleep, your body is cleaning you. Hopefully, if you have not eaten too late, then your body is cleaning you, and it is getting rid of all of the toxins to your 2 exit points. This is your entrance point, but it's also your exit point. And so we are like one giant tube, like one giant water slide. We have an entrance right here, and we have 16 feet of a tube going, and we have an exit point right here. So when we are sick or clogged up, it's just literally because our sink tube is clogged up, and so we need to flush it out. So while you sleep, you guys, your body is getting rid of all of the toxins. It's sweeping up. It's trying to get rid of all of the excess toxins inside of your body, and it wants it out. So it's going to push it all to your bowel so that you poo it out first thing in the morning, and it's going to push it onto your tongue. So when you do a degree, like a high level of detox, you'll find that your tongue starts to get really fuzzy and really white and gross because all of the toxins start living on your tongue. So first thing in the morning, before you start drinking any water, before you drink your coffee, before you have your green smoothie, I invite you to do something called oil pulling, or just even scraping your tongue with your toothbrush or a tongue scraper. How many of you guys have ever done any type of oil pulling? Yeah, so I'm just going to tell you what it is. All it is like literally it's untoasted sesame oil or coconut oil works great. You just put a teaspoon in your mouth and you just swish it around for maybe 5-10 minutes while you're making your bed, while you're just getting yourself organized in the morning. And the coconut oil is very antibacterial. It goes into every nook and cranny that sometimes a toothbrush and toothpaste can't get into. And it'll start pulling some of the toxins out of your body, and it makes your teeth really nice and white. So any type of cleaning of your mouth, then scrape your tongue with your toothbrush or get a tongue scraper. And then that's how you start your day. Then you're going to go to the bathroom. Now, the modern toilet is actually a detriment to our society, and it's made most people quite sick. And the number one sickness in all of the world is constipation. We really are not getting rid of our excess fecal matter or our toxins fast enough. And most people are constipated, and most people are walking around with excess fecal matter. If we have a bit of a belly, it's usually not beer, it's usually excess poo in there. And like I said, even if you start cleansing and you start doing juicing and just drinking juices, water, coconuts, you'll be shocked at how much is going to come out of you, because we have 16 feet of all of these tubes that are going through us that have been holding on to pieces of waste throughout our entire lives, however old we are, 30, 40, 25, whatever. So it's important that you get that out first thing in the morning. So we're starting out by scraping your tongue. You're going to clean your mouth. And then the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the bathroom in this type of way. So how many of you guys use like a pooping stool or something to put your feet up while you go to the bathroom? Okay, so we were actually designed, like here in Asia, to squat. So that is how our body functions the best, when we squat and we go poo. So if you're in the forest and you're squatting, that's how naturally you're meant to go to the bathroom. The moment that you sit on a toilet, you've actually created more of a tougher way for your body poo to come out. And so it usually doesn't come out so easily. Therefore, constipation happens for a lot of people, or they're not even pooing out the amount of poo that they have to. So the easiest thing that you can do is you just get yourself you grab your garbage can, or you grab a stepping stool, or you grab something and you just put it right here in front of your toilet. Mr. Cameraman, film this part. So you get a stepping stool and you put it in front of your toilet. So your feet are about this high off of the ground. So now it's so easy. You don't have to climb up on your toilet. You don't have to be doing any acrobatics in your bathroom and flying over. You're just going to grab your garbage can. You're going to stick your feet up. And all of a sudden, you've replicated the squatting position. And your poo's going to come out easily and effortlessly. And honestly, all these things I'm teaching you are things that you could do for the rest of your life. This is lifestyle. This isn't something like, oh, I'll try it for a weekend and then it's over. It's just something that you start taking on and you realize, wow, this has totally changed my life. And a pooping stool, I swear, will change your life. So, so it's really, really simple. You can even get some of those collapsible little stepping stools and just have it by your toilet and use that. Okay, so first thing in the morning, we're cleaning our mouth. Second is we're cleaning our bowel. And the easiest way is just use a garbage can or a stepping stool to put your feet up to replicate the squatting position. The third is that it's important to get hydration into your body first thing in the morning because, like I said, we're one giant tube. And if you have a plugged sink with a bunch of hair in it, if you stuck a bunch of toast and potatoes down there, it wouldn't really flush out. And it's kind of the same thing with us. We wake up in the morning and we're usually like right away with eggs and toast and potatoes and various dry things that really like allowing our body to eliminate. So first thing in the morning, I invite you guys to have a nice big glass of water with freshly squeezed lemon in it. Lemons are the most alkaline fruits on the planet. They sound like they're acidic, but they're actually very alkaline. And so if you just squeeze a freshly squeezed lemon into your water, it will help alkaline your body. And another one that I like to use too that you can get is called apple cider vinegar. Have you guys ever tried apple cider vinegar? Yeah? So if you buy apple cider vinegar, it's important that you get the raw one with the mother in it. Bragg's is one brand, but there is another one too that's like a nice dark bottle. I usually like the dark bottle stuff because I don't think light has to permeate it and ruin it to some extent. And you can usually find that it's quite activated. You can see it kind of bubbling inside of there. So apple cider vinegar or lemon are great ways to start hydrating and alkalining your body. And then the next, you're going to make yourself a green smoothie. Yeah? So a green smoothie is really simple. It's basically 3 ingredients. It's greens, leafy greens. So kale, spinach, cilantro, sprouts, collards I kind of like. Muddy, the color. I don't really like the color of it. Probably those are the most easiest and most delicious ones. You can use lettuces, but I find that they don't really have much. You want a lot of good fiber. So kale and spinach, the best, and cilantro, I think, are the best. And then the second is you need some kind of fruit. And ripe bananas will hide the flavor of the greens the best. Now, the whole game here is that you're actually drinking a green leafy smoothie. It's not a fruit smoothie. It's just that you need the fruit in order to be able to take down that much spinach or kale first thing in the morning. If you just blended kale with water, it would taste so horrible, you'd never want to drink it. So you got to add the fruit in there to make it taste delicious, so your body wants it, so it starts to crave it every morning. And so that literally the greens start to take over your system, and your body starts to alkaline, your body starts to crave the greens. And that's what's going to happen. Honestly, within a couple days, you'll start to find that these greens are taking over and you're craving them. So you need some kind of greens, you need some kind of banana, and then any other kind of fruit. You know, probably for 2 years, I did spinach and banana and water as my base smoothie. It was just so simple. I was new to the green smoothie thing, and it was a really simple smoothie to make. But then eventually I started adding in maybe pineapple or mango or blueberries or strawberries or lime or coconut water if you want. But I always kept my smoothie pure, and that's what I just invite you to do as well, because if you start putting in some kind of almond milk that most of the time is not even made up of almonds, it's just a chemical concoction, get fed off of that. And the idea of this green smoothie is that you want this to give you energy, you want this to clean you out, you want this to be a healing, detoxing, cleansing smoothie. So if you start putting in a whole bunch of extra stuff and tons of nuts, which are most of the time hard to digest for people, all of a sudden your body's like, I don't know what to do with this, I'm not getting the energy it needs. So you just want it pure and simple. We come from the earth, this comes from the earth. Just let it do its magic, because it will. It's very instant. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a green smoothie. Now, I like it a little bit cold and frosty. So something that you can do is you can peel and freeze your bananas or and freeze your fruit, but never freeze your greens. Because the whole reason that you're eating this and you're eating these fresh greens is because you're going for life these leaves right here, if we squeeze them, the juice that's going to come out of them is called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll and our blood are 99.9% the same. So that means the more green stuff you eat and drink, you are replacing and cleaning your blood. So this is a very quick way for you to give yourself a nice natural blood transfusion, along with drinking coconuts, because coconuts are the same. They're 99.9% the same as our hemoglobin. So literally back in World War II, when they ran out of blood for blood transfusions, they started giving people coconut water right into their veins, because it was the only substance that can go into your body without your body having a shock. So this is really important because it's chlorophyll, it's sun energy. So what's happening is these leaves are sitting there grabbing all of the sun's energy, converting it to chlorophyll, and the fresher you eat these, the faster energy goes into your body. And so a lot of people ask me, like, how are you so energized? How do I get energy? I just want energy. I want to feel more alive. I want energy. Well, you have to eat energy. If you're just eating cooked food, it's dead food. If you are starting to eat more raw fruits and vegetables, you are eating raw food. You're eating food that's full of life force. It's got energy, meaning that this leaf, this spinach plant, before it was picked, was still growing every day. It was growing a new leaf. It was full of life force. It's still full of life force. It's going to lie here for I don't know how many days before it starts to turn brown and then yellow and then shrivel up and die, because it no longer has life force in it. So it's important to eat as much life force as possible if you want to feel energized. Okay, so this green smoothie, I put ice into it because I do like it cold and frosty, but you can also use ice water, and I like to keep my water in the fridge. I have a little Prezi for you guys too. So with regards to your banana, I would say that you could do like 1 or 2 bananas. I'm kind of over the banana taste. I've done it for so long, but it does hide the flavor the best. So I will usually throw in like 1 banana. Otherwise, maybe it starts to take over and gives you more of the banana taste. And then I've got some cut up pineapple and some mango here, and I've got a bunch of leafy spinach. I washed my hands. So they didn't give me that much spinach because I'm more of like, I'd have probably 3 or 4 times the handful here. Like I would pack this thing full of spinach or kale. That's how I make a green smoothie, okay? But this is what we got, so we're just gonna work with that. And then we're gonna add a bit of mango. Yeah, it's not gonna be that green. Okay. And then literally your third ingredient is water. And water is one of the most important ingredients because I ask you because you're made up of 80% water. So what is your lifeblood, which is your water? What is it made up from? Is it made up from plastic bottled water? Is it made up of chlorinated, fluorinated tap water? Or is it made up of fresh spring water? And I'm a big fan. I am one of the rare few people on the planet, I think, that is a small percentage of us that drink only spring water. And I've been drinking only spring water for about 8 years. And it's raw life force water. It's how many of you guys know how spring works and how does a spring come up? Yeah? You know a little bit? So this is how a spring works, and this is why it's so powerful and amazing, is that in the center of the earth, we have giant lakes called aquifers. And there is a moment of a place of the water that starts to gain levitational energy. And it starts to levitate from the center of the earth, going up all of the rock and all of the sediment, and it erupts into a natural spring at the top of the earth. So it's not a spring that I'm talking that is trickling down a mountain where animals could poo and pee into it. I'm talking about literally it's erupting right from the ground. And it usually creates a little pond, or sometimes it comes from the rocks, and sometimes someone will put like a spout there for people to fill up. And if you're in the United States and Canada, there is a great website called findaspring.com, which helps you find springs all around the world. But I've traveled all over the world, and I'm always drinking spring water. So it's doable when you're committed to this level of health and vitality. that you can find spring water. You can ask your community, you can Google it, you can usually find a spring that you can collect from, or you can have one delivered. Here in Bali, we're lucky. We have Balian water, which is from Mount Agung. It's being delivered to us, and a lot of warongs sell it, or you can get it. I know Bali Buddha delivers it to my house in Ubud, so they can deliver it here in Sanur. And that is, the freshest spring water that I know has actually been UV treated. But a lot of the Balinese drink spring water too. They go to the temples and they collect their own spring water, and they're drinking that spring water. I did drink that kind of spring water for a while, but I just feel that our stomachs are different. I need to make sure that it's a really pure, clean spring, and it's really important where the spring comes from. And if it's coming from in the center of town where there's a lot of construction and stuff seeping into the water supply, I don't trust it as much as when it's coming from the mountains of Mount Agung. So I feel Balian spring water is top notch, and I would definitely recommend that you guys get that. And again, it's alive. It's molecularly perfectly structured for your body to understand, so that it goes inside your body, it hydrates you instantly, and your body goes, oh, I know what this is. And it's raw, it's alive, it's full of energy. So again, you're putting energy inside of your body by drinking it. So how runny or how thick you make your smoothie is up to you. I like it usually kind of runny. I like it cold. I like passion fruit and little koi into this, by the way, too. They make it kind of zingy. So it's really up to you. Now, something else that you can add in here is good quality coconut yogurt or coconut cream or even coconut water. And the difference between, let's say this is a high-speed blender and a not-so-great blender is just that you might be eating a chunky smoothie. So it's sometimes, if you know this is your lifestyle, if you know that you feel passionate about being healthy, you know you want to be on this path, it's really, I think, one of the best investments you can make is to get yourself a good quality high-speed blender. I like Vitamix, I like NutriBullet, I like Blendtec. I just think that, and some of these like more imitation brands, I mean, that's whatever, some imitation Madden, but it's great. And I think it just makes a difference because honestly, if you're chewing on kale every morning, it's just not that appetizing. Plus, honestly, you guys, I make smoothies and soups and so many various things in here that you could like literally have the most amazing lifestyle just using your blender all the time. So I'm going to give you guys a sample. And the difference between a smoothie and a juice, I want to tell you about because we have such great access to juices here in Bali. So if you ever want to go on a juice cleanse, one, I can support you in terms of coaching to get you started. But the other thing is it's so easy, right? There's green juices and colonics and enema bags and good quality coffee to put up your butt. Like literally there's everything here for you to be able to do an amazing cleanse, and especially if you have the support to do it. And like I said, you could buy my book to do that with. So the difference between a smoothie and a juice, just so you understand the difference, because they're both powerful and amazing, but they're doing kind of two different things. A smoothie has fiber in it. That means it's scraping you out. The fiber helps put good bacteria back into your belly. Most of us have gut issues. We have problems with our stomachs. It's because our gut flora, our good bacteria, is very, very low, and we have bad bacteria in our bodies. Therefore, we have candida, yeast infections, skin problems, digestive issues, brain fog, many, many things that are created by our belly not being healthy. And so it's important that we get the good flora back into our gut. We can do that with probiotics. We can do it with fermented foods. But fiber gives you back good flora. So that's why this is important as well. This will also help scrape you out more than a juice, so you'll be able to poo faster. And it'll give you just a little bit more sustenance in the morning. So if you're going to work, you can make yourself like, a big glass of it in a mason jar and take it with you. And you've got like a full meal. And especially if you throw even some avocado in there, you got it like even heavier and more fatty. Now the juice, what's amazing about it is it has no fiber. That means that there is no digestion happening. So it goes instantly into your bloodstream. It goes right into your body. It cleans you. It heals you. And your body doesn't have to do any digesting. Now, your body is always doing one of two things. It is either digesting you or it is healing you. So if you are eating lots of heavy, hard to digest food, if you're eating all the time, if you're eating steaks and meat and lots of breads and sweets and cakes, your body's working all the time on digesting. It means it has very little time for healing. If you eat really late at night, your body's working all night to digest you rather than to heal you. Therefore, sickness sets in. And so what I do with people for healing cancer and other diseases, as well as just get them healthy, and what cancer centers are doing all over the world, is literally stop digesting altogether. So there's no smoothies, there's only juices, there's only coconut water, there's only alkaline superfoods that are just going straight into the bloodstream and are preventing any type of digestion from happening. So that's kind of how you can play. Even if you want to do your own cleanse at home, it's pretty simple. You could just start thinking about, could I start eating less hard to digest food? Could I start eating more liquids foods? Could I start eating more raw fruits and vegetables that are going to digest quickly in my system rather than a steak that's going to take 14 hours? And all of a sudden, you can give yourself a cleanse by just starting to eliminate hard to digest foods, starting to eliminate gluten, which I would suggest to you guys to eliminate altogether, and to start to eliminate dairy and ideally reduce meat and eliminate that too. And I'm not a big fan of soy or tofu, so I don't eat any of that either. So I just kind of, you have an easy way. I'm just giving you how it kind of works so that you can just get on a cleanse easier. So I'm going to give you guys some samples. Try it out. I hope it tastes delicious. For me, see? Can I just have a few more small cups? Maybe you could just pour a little bit. Maybe you could just pour the rest for, yeah, just a taste. I don't know. How does it taste? Could be sweeter. So in the beginning, for some people, when I do, if I'm giving samples and demos and stuff, a lot of the times I'll even put dates in it for people so that it tastes really sweet and they really like it, because most people, for them, the taste of green is quite revolting in the beginning. So it's just putting in a lot of fruit in the beginning, making it taste really yummy and fruity, and then the less and less, you can put less and less fruit, and then the more and more your body's going to want to crave and want the greens anyways. So I don't know, what's our time? What time is it? 5:30, okay. So the other part of, so now that you've had your green smoothie in the morning, and now it's starting to connect more to yourself, yeah? So you're going to create some self-love practices. So like I said, if you can go in front of the mirror and start doing that type of practice, I know it might be really weird for you, but in a lot of my workshops, I'll get people to pull out their cell phone and get them to pull out their mirror right there in the moment and start to connect to yourself. And you'll really start to notice that it's really weird. And the first thing that are going to happen is you're going to start to see all the flaws. You're going to start to see the wrinkles. You're going to start to see the things that you don't like. You're going to start to feel that you might not like yourself that much. And so it's important just to persevere, just to keep looking in the mirror, looking into your eyes, and starting to connect with that human being that's looking back at you, because we're going to be with ourselves to the end of the earth. And, you know, parents, partners, maybe even kids come and go, but we're going to be with ourselves forever. And if we don't really absolutely love ourselves and think that we're the most amazing being on the planet, then it's going to be a really kind of not so happy life. And we only have this one life to live, so we might as well just absolutely friggin' love ourselves, take care of ourselves, and really support ourselves to be the number one person in our lives. So I think that's really key, like especially when I teach any type of nutrition stuff, it really comes down to the mind, because the other thing is that whatever you're thinking about yourself, whatever thoughts you have inside of your head, it's another way that you're feeding yourself. And if you're feeding yourself toxic thoughts, if you're feeding yourself judgment about yourself or others, this is all negativity, and it's all acidity, and it's poison inside of you. And one of the things that I learned when I was like, looking at how to heal cancer from the body was that if you hold on to a grudge or you have unforgiveness for someone in your life, it's what's at the stem of cancer. And so really, hello, darling. So really look at how you can forgive people and let go of that energy that you're hanging on to. I have a chapter in there in my book about forgiveness, because it really is the most powerful practice that you can do, because most of the time, there's a beautiful saying that says, having hate for someone is like drinking poison and expecting the other to die. And that really is the truth. That person might not even know that we're upset at them, but we are processing it all the time. It's lowering our vibration. It's bringing our energy down. It's creating poison inside of us. And the fastest way that we can heal ourselves is to start looking at how we can forgive that person and just let go of that vibration. And sometimes people do things that you feel like are really unforgivable. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're saying it's okay what they did. You're just allowing yourself to release the energy inside of your body and loving yourself so much that you're no longer going to suffer through it. And that's where I talked about that layer of suffering too. It's just time to let that shit go. And most of us honestly live in victim consciousness. That's what our society has been created on, is that we are a victim and there's always an aggressor. There's always someone out to get us. Someone's hurting us. Someone's doing something to us. It's always the fault of someone else. And I just really invite you guys from this talk forward is just to get out of the back seat of your lives, to stop pretending that someone's driving you around and you have no control and stuff's happening to you, and to get into the driver's seat and become 100% responsible for your life. No matter what, even if someone starts yelling at you one day, look at how you co-created that. Why did you need that in your life? What is it showing up for you? Because if we're going to go into way deeper stuff to talk about, is that truly what I really teach at the core of my stuff is that I believe that we're all just ourselves here, and we're having a holographic illusion with the reality out here, and that no one really exists but us. And when you start to play with your life, that you're just making it up and it's your holographic illusion, it's your video game that you're cruising around on this planet, and you're either having the most amazing dream of your life or you're having a nightmare, you get to choose it. And that's where I think your power really starts to come back, when you start to get into the driver's seat and start choosing your life. This is your dream, waking up in this dream and starting to consciously create every single aspect of your life. And if there's something you don't like in it, change it. If there's someone that you don't vibe with, let them go, or have a conversation to change that. But you are truly responsible for your life, and really just let go of victim consciousness forever. I think that's what creates a lot of sickness in people as well, is that literally we're just believing that things are constantly happening to us. So do some self-love, make green smoothies, start putting your feet up, clean your mouth when you wake up. Start thinking about how you could hydrate and flush your system out as much as possible, because you're one giant tube. Imagine that every morning you wake up and you probably have about 3 or 4 poos that are lined up ready to come out. But most of the time you poo once and you think that's good enough, and you just go and eat some bread and you're done. What if you started to drink way more liquids and started to see that with every liquid that you're drinking, you could be flushing out another poo, and you don't have to carry that around. Most of us carry our poo around. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's funny and gross at the same time. Yes? 24. I did
21 days water. I had a colonic 2 days ago, and it was 1 hour of black decay and plaque.
So I just want to repeat so the camera heard that. This gentleman is on day 24 of a cleanse. 21 days water, and did a colonic, and literally just drinking water for 21 days, and he's a skinny man. So it's not like we're talking about like excess massive fecal matter walking around. and he had a colonic and massive amount of black stuff, which means it's hard. It's been in there for years and years and years, was coming out of him, and for an hour. So I just thank you for that affirmation, because that is the truth. Is literally, we think that, oh, I poo every day, I'm clean. You know, most people, even when I talk to them about cleansing, it's like, oh, I don't need to cleanse, I poo every day. It's like, okay, but really the other thing is that only 50% of our poo is food. The other 50% are dead cells and dead organs that are dying off, because we're changing. We're constantly new being in every single second. Our cells are dying. Our liver eventually dies and regenerates. All of our organs. We have a brand new skeletal system in about 7, I think, years. So we're constantly changing, and things are dying off in there. The cells are dying off. So when you are pooing off parts of your body as well as food. So that's such a great example. And I have just like same kind of story as I did also. I've been on this path for a really long time. I'm a pretty skinny person. And I too, when I first came to Bali, actually, I did about 14 days of juicing. And I had a girl that was in the colonics before me that was this super skinny Asian girl that said, I can't believe it. I have only been drinking water for 10 days and I can't believe what's coming out of me, like complete shock. And the same with me, you know, after doing all the stuff, and I'd had so many colonics in my past because I also had my amalgams removed. I don't know how many of you guys still have mercury inside of your mouths. Highly invite you to take that out and cleanse your body once you do take it out, because the excess mercury is swimming around in your system, and you could find that your health will greatly improve once you do that. But I did a lot of colonics, and even on my like second, you know, they massage your belly. If you've never had colonics, it's really quite a nurturing experience if you can find someone you feel comfortable with. Here in Sanur, Blue Karma, Seminyak, Betty, and I would say that for me in Ubud, I really like Gaia Holistics. And I like the machines that you can see stuff coming out. I actually think it's fascinating to see what's coming out of my body. Some people think it's gross, but I also invite you to have the mantra, if you're going to do an enema, you're going to do a colonic, that you're just basically the entire time saying, I let go. I let go. Because it is a physical act. Cleansing is a very physical act, but it's also a very emotional and very spiritual act. And you are letting go of layers and layers of spiritual crap and emotional stuff when you start to cleanse your body. So that's why it's always important to either do it with someone or to be in a nurturing space, because stuff will start to come up. And I had the same thing. I had literally, like, the woman was massaging my belly and she's like, there's something really hard in there. And I was just like, okay. And by third colonic, this, like, I don't want to be gross, but this like black poo came out of me like this long, so hard and long. And I thought, oh my God, what is that? And she said, that's been in there a long time. And I just was like, wow. And I've done many different kinds of cleansing. I've had literally like my lining come out and everything. And I was like, yes, that's gotta go. And this is where it's like celebration, you know, even if sometimes we go do ceremonies or we don't feel well and we throw up, it's like, yes, get the toxins out. Sometimes we think that it's something that's making you sick, but actually it's your own body that makes you sick. It's your own toxins inside of your body. It's great. Get them out. Throw up, poo them out, spit them out, steam them out with a sauna. And different kinds of infrared saunas and stuff, because your skin is your biggest elimination organ. So it's important to get it out of your skin as well. And, you know, in Bali, I guess it's pretty great because we're sweating. But you can take it to the next level and go to some awesome saunas around here. So I do still have some green smoothie if you want to sample it. I'm open to answer some questions. Smoothie. Yep. And I also, like I said, have some books. I have some stickers for you guys if you want to grab a big sticker. That's my Green Smoothie Gangster sticker. And then there's another sticker in there, and you just kind of put your hand in there and you grab one, and it'll be the one that's meant for you. And I'm happy that you guys came and spent a few minutes. I know, and there's like another, grab one, and these little ones, put your hand in there. And that's like the special one. And and I have programs online that you can check out at EatJuicy.com or Green Smoothie. And usually I take people's emails, so if you're open to it, I'm happy to take your email and I'll send you how to make some detox smoothies. And I do retreats here in Bali, mainly in Ubud, for cleansing, as well as do coaching to help you up-level your life and help you cleanse and stuff like that. So if you feel you want some support, I'm happy to help you, and I can also sell you a book. So any questions? No questions? Yeah? Do you have a question? Do you just want some smoothie? Yeah. Yeah, baby. And kids love green smoothies. This is an important way for you to get your kids to start drinking green smoothies. Okay, suksama. Suksama.